There are two matters that are aggravating me today, and that will surprise you because you know that I'm not easily aggravated. First, last week, the United Nations endorsed the Sustainable Development Goals, the goals that will govern the life of the planet for the next 15 years. And the primary goal, the first goal, was the elimination of extreme poverty. Now, the World Bank defined extreme poverty as living under $1 a day back in the year 2000. And then they redefined it in 2005 and said living under $1.25 a day. And then at some point this month, they're going to redefine it again and say that extreme poverty is living under $1.90 a day. Now I'll tell you what aggravates me. It's absolutely preposterous to pretend that anyone can live a life at $1.90 a day. I mean, when you think about what we call the social determinants of poverty, food, clothing, shelter, health, education, all of the ingredients of the human condition, to suggest that $1.90 a day is not living in extreme poverty drives me crazy. Where are those World Bank economists? What planet do they live on? I'm reminded of Harold Wilson's comment when he was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom about an economist, that he saw him as a desiccated calculating machine. That's my image of World Bank economists. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, an organization called UNCTAD, says that we should be shooting for $5 a day minimum. Well, that doesn't make a great deal more sense to me than $1.90, but it is certainly preferable. 2 billion people living at $1.90 a day, and they're supposedly out of extreme poverty. It's nuts. That leads me to the second point I want to make, which is a combination of aggravation and jubilation, oddly enough. The World Health Organization has just announced that anyone who is diagnosed as HIV positive should go into treatment immediately. They don't have to fall below a certain medical threshold to be eligible for treatment. Bravo, that's the way it should be. And a number of activists and scientists have been begging for that for the last 2 or 3 years volubly, and some of them even longer. So let's look at the mathematics. UNAIDS says that if we implement the new WHO guidelines that you go into treatment the moment you're diagnosed as HIV positive, we would save 21 million lives by the year 2030, and we would avert 28 million new infections by the year 2030. So when you think of it, that's roughly 1.5 million lives a year and almost 2 million new infections a year. So suppose the World Health Organization had come out with the guidelines 2 or 3 years ago, as many begged them to do, you would be saving countless numbers of additional lives. What is wrong with the World Health Organization? Do you remember how slow they were to react to Ebola? It's the same systemic problem. It's a kind of paralytic intellectual prison. I don't understand it. Well, I'll take a deep breath. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.